Hi, Stephen here from Inexteriors Painting and Decorators, and you're watching Inexteriors TV. Right, when the client called me down here to look at this awkward window to paint, he also asked me about the fascia boards. And he says to me the fascia boards haven't been painted in 10 years. He's not even sure whether they're rotten. Well, anyway, I got up and had a look, and they were just a bit flaky and very cobwebby and dirty. You don't want to be leaving your fascia boards 10 years before repainting. You want to be doing them in between 4 and 6 years. The consequences could be severe and very costly. Right, I'm going to sand and scrape and dust off this fascia. And for this part I've just got a mouldy tool scraper, some 80 grit sandpaper and a dust brush. If you would like to purchase any of the similar tools that I use for this task, please feel free to check out the links in the description below. And also, if you're planning on doing any other decorating works, please feel free to visit my tool store. The links are also in the description below. To begin with, we give it a good scrape of any loose bits, a good sand down and a good dust off. It's more like something from Dracula with all the cobwebs. As my wife rightly pointed out, I should have said 8-legged freaks, that's more spiders. She says Dracula's bats. You can see the cobwebs coming out and dangling from that gutter bracket there on the right. I've never seen so many cobwebs on a fascia and gutter in my life. Let me just give you a close-up of this clump of cobweb. When I scraped the fascia boards and sanded them, there was some sap coming out the knots. So I just want to put some of this knotting solution on to try and hold it back. Here's a little close-up of the knots that I put some knotting solution on. Right, now we've prepped it, we're now ready for painting, and the paint that I'm using is Storm Shield Flexible Primer Undercoat and then the Storm Shield Flexible Gloss as a top coat. And the paint brushes that I'm using are a 2-inch Hamilton Prestige Synthetic and an 1-inch Hamilton Perfection Synthetic. You should not go straight on with your gloss. You should not miss this step out of undercoating. Now this Johnson Storm Shield Flexi Primer Undercoat acts as a primer as well. So if you come across any little bare bits of wood when you're undercoating it, those little bare bits you can just touch up once the primer undercoat's dry. So the first coat sort of acts as a primer on bare wood, and then the second coat acts as a undercoat on bare wood. But this is not bare wood, but you might come across bare bits, like the, you know, where you've sanded. So them bare bits are just need spotting up before you put your gloss on. I use the inch brush for sort of cutting in around the bracket and getting as far up behind the gutter as possible. You can use a fitch if the gutter's a bit tighter, but this inch brush works fine. Once it's dry the next day, give it a light sand down. I use some worn down 80 grade sandpaper and a dust off before we start glossing. I did try and get a close-up of cutting in around the bracket here, but I've just noticed that my hand and arm are in the way. Oh well, we'll try again another time. This is what it looked like before. And this is what it looks like now. Thank you very much for watching.